I'm sure most of you know, or remember at least, when Marvel Rivals came out and everyone said, oh my god, Overwatch is dead now, that's it, I'm moving over completely. Well, if you look over on Twitch, it's actually very even. Now, obviously, this varies on time to time, but I'd say most of the day it's fairly even in terms of viewership. By the way, I'm just going to freestyle this video. I've got no script to follow. I'm just going to spit shit, and if it works, it works. So, Rivals released in October, and to be honest with you, it's actually a very fun game, but it just lacked that competitive itch that Overwatch always had, hence why it had the throne for so long, right? But now the viewers and the players are starting to decline, and they're starting to come back to Overwatch. I think this rivalry was actually needed for both games. Problem with Rivals is, because it's so fresh, right? And obviously Overwatch has had so many years to establish itself. All the people coming over are similar to what 2016 Overwatch was. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the first game, it was complete open queue. When competitive dropped, everything was just fucking random, which is why it was so fun as well, right? But literally, you had people hopping on after work, jumping into competitive because they had the shiny logos. No meta, no comp, just pick your character and run it, which is mostly what Rivals is right now. And yeah, cool, it's fun for the most part, but low-key, I'm not trying to be stuck on support every game. Hence why I did actually go back to Overwatch. And also because it is my baby at the end of the day, right? It's like your toxic relationship. You can never really let it go. Now that we have 2 games in the top in terms of genre, I mean, you could throw Valorant in there if you want, but I really wouldn't put it in the same category. I think over the next couple of years or so, depending on obviously how relevant they stay, each game will continue to push each other, coming up with new ideas and shit, which is actually good for us. I think Blizzard have improved the game a lot, especially over the last few months. It's not amazing, but it's definitely a lot better than what it used to be, which is all I can ask for. Especially after playing 6v6, you know, after playing 5v5 for what, 2 years? I mean, considering it's been out for 2. Fuck it. Anyways, going back to 6v6, the original format, which is how the game is meant to be played. It is like a pop to Molly. I don't know what the devs were smoking when they dropped 5v5. The game wasn't meant to be 5v5. But obviously there was a bunch of problems like queue times. No one wanted to play tank. No one still wants to play tank. It's fucking shit. At least 6v6, you can just run 2 off tanks and be like, yeah, mate, this is nice. Trying to dive as a tank in 5v5, you got Brig and Anna, you get slept, naded, fucking bummed, no lube, straight in, raw. Honestly, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not really trying to deal with that. Appreciate it though, thank you. So yeah, it's a breath of fresh air. In terms of Rivals, you know, I'm looking over there, I watch Super play it. It's just so many fucking colours on my screen. I mean, it's like every game really, even Valorant's the same. Like, everyone needs to relax. Overwatch, there's some downtime. Rivals, there's no downtime. Just full send constantly. It's a bit overstimulating, you know? That's what I'm saying. I'm getting old, guys. But anyway, in terms of the initial rivalry itself, I think it's starting to calm down now. You know, I'll be scrolling through TikTok or whatever. I'll see a Rivals video. I'll see a Overwatch video. And there's not really much beef in the comments anymore. You know, I remember when it first dropped, everyone was scrapping each other saying, you know, this one's better, this one's better. No one actually gives a fuck anymore, which is kind of nice. Now, this might be a hot take. This might be a bad take, whatever. But I do think the way that Rivals sexualizes the characters is a little bit weird. Now, I'm not complaining. That was a joke, by the way. It is a little bit weird. You know, I get they need to make money and all this shit. Take advantage of the gooners. Everyone takes advantage of the gooners. Why do you think everyone on OF is so successful? Besides the point, that's a discussion for another day. I'm sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. Back to basics. I now see the 2 games side by side. I don't really see them as enemies. I see them more as companions now. You know, each game takes a note from each other, you merge them together, and you get this nice little group project. You know, it's like when you guys are working on a presentation back in college or school or whatever, and you guys are taking notes from each other. That's what it is. That's what it is. And it's a good thing. Only thing that needs to go from each game, I would personally say, you know, this is just my takes, just my opinion. You guys can scrap me in the comments if you want. I do think Rivals need some sort of structure, because I think this whole open cube madness, yeah, cool, it's fun. I get it, but for people like myself, it is a little bit boring to have to babysit and go on support because no one else wants to. Now for Overwatch, all I see every game is Ashe, Soldier, Mercy, Anna, Brig, whatever, like Moira, like get out, man. I don't want to deal with that. Trying to shoot 50 different moths on my screen. You got Mercy flying, you got Moira fading, jumping, got Anna pinging sleeps from across the map, nading. Brig's flying with her fucking shield, bang. You got Sojourn tickling you from across the map and then bang, deleted. Can we spice the game up a bit? You know, it is a little bit stale when 9 out of 10 games are the same shit. Rivals, you got the soldier up in the sky.
Armed and dangerous! Again! Again!
Like, yeah, cool, amazing. That was fun for the first 2 months. Can we switch it up a little bit, please? I wouldn't even say it's a case of, oh, this person's broken, let's nerf them. It's a case of, can we change the other people around them so they're more of a viable option? Otherwise you get this power creep problem. You know, for example, Diva, she was so good for so long, but she wasn't getting picked that often. So they buff her slightly and that's it. She's a fucking demon. The current state Anna is in, she's so good. Her kit is so good. If you don't have an Anna, you basically lose. Hence why you need to have an Anna. I am saying for most games, by the way. I don't literally mean every game. You know, you can obviously win without an Anna, but you guys get my point I'm making. I haven't played Rivals in a few months, so I can't actually tell you what the situation is over there. You know, that's not my territory. I'm not qualified for that. My overall point that I'm making here is that both games are on a level playing ground now. It's not a case of one's dominant, one's shit. And I hope that they keep taking ideas from each other. For example, Hero Bands, I believe, was actually inspired by Rivals because they put it in, they saw how well it worked for the most part. And I assume they've taken it from them. Although I do feel like it's a cheap escape to the problem. Even with the bans, games do feel a bit stale. And especially if you're in a stack. Greed EU actually mentioned this in a video. But basically in the video he summarized saying that hero bans is an easy way to fix a problem badly. Something along those lines anyway. If you're in the stack and the stack have a certain way of playing, they will ban heroes to cater to that playstyle. Then of course it makes it a lot harder because you can't counter that. Especially if you're not in a stack. Most of the people in this game, they don't really want to speak. I literally get banned constantly for speaking as well. I mean, sometimes I come across as too aggressive or whatever, but it's fine. I don't really care. Report system needs a fucking overhaul, I'll be honest with you. It's so cheeks. It is so cheeks. So many of my accounts get banned. It's actually boring. Because it's AI based, it's so hard to get contact with an actual person. If the other team report you and they're in a stack, your account is getting banned for 2 weeks. You are doing nothing. But hey, I'm not a dev. I don't really care. I just think people would have a better experience if they actually fix the fucking report system. It'd save us a lot of headache. Overall, I can see the popularity with Rivals tapering off now. People are actually coming back to Overwatch and spending money, which hopefully means the devs can actually put some effort and, you know, throw in a few more ideas. It would be good to see, to be honest. I'm kind of concerned with what other ideas they've spit out, but hey, so far they're cooking. Everyone's cooking. I'm going to go cooking in a minute as well. Hopefully this sort of synergy between the two games carries on for a little while. They seem to push each other in a good way. Hopefully they keep taking ideas from each other as well. Blizzard have definitely fixed up the monetization as well. I remember when the game first came out, it was just pure greed. But now the free player actually gets some good rewards, which I'm happy with. As for Rivals, I won't really comment. I don't really play that game anymore. I think it had its time, as every game does. You know, nothing will ever top 2018 Overwatch. Life is just different now. Games can't really operate in that way anymore, which is a shame, but it is what it is. If you guys enjoy me talking shit, let me know. Leave a comment. I actually like doing these kind of videos. It's kind of therapeutic, you know what I'm saying? Come check out the stream. Come check out the Discord. It's all linked below. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Peace and love.